The weather models just dropped a bombshell that's making meteorologists across the country recalculate everything they thought they knew about this winter. What's unfolding right now represents the most dramatic shift in winter weather patterns that could bring snow as far south as Georgia and potentially paralyze the entire East Coast. This isn't just another January cold snap. We're witnessing a complete atmospheric reorganization that will affect millions of Americans from Miami to Maine. Starting today, Wednesday, January 14th, the latest computer models are painting a picture so compelling that it's absolutely breaking the internet among weather enthusiasts worldwide. But here's what makes this absolutely mind-blowing. The timing couldn't be more perfect for what atmospheric scientists have been tracking all month long. Right around mid-January, long-range forecasts predicted that dormant winter patterns would finally unleash their true potential. And that transformative moment has arrived. Before revealing exactly what these breakthrough models are showing, drop your location in the comments. Where are you watching from? And what would make this the perfect winter storm for your area? Because what's developing will write completely different chapters for different regions, from southern snow rarities that make headlines to potential East Coast blockbusters that shut down cities. Over the next 17 minutes, we'll break down exactly why this could become the winter weather event that transforms this entire season from disappointment to absolutely legendary. Let's dive straight into the brand new data that's exploding across social media. The latest American model run that has weather professionals speechless this afternoon. Notice how it throws snow deep into the deep south, then cranks up what appears to be a major nor'easter, steamrolling up the entire eastern seaboard. Now, this represents just one scenario, but atmospheric patterns are trending closer to solutions like this, and this model run sets a remarkable ceiling for what's actually possible. And witnessing these magnificent atmospheric forces aligning with such divine precision reminds us that some patterns transcend mere meteorological coincidence. There's something profoundly moving about watching these natural systems organize with timing and coordination that speaks to a greater orchestration beyond our understanding. But here's what we absolutely don't have to worry about right now: Arctic air availability. And let's examine why this foundation changes everything. Check out this Arctic air mass diving down from northern Canada. It literally looks like a frozen invasion with those deep purple and pink colors cascading southward. This brutally cold air is going to establish complete dominance across the eastern United States over the coming days, and the temperature drop will be swift and dramatic. Tomorrow across the southeast, many regions won't escape the 30s, the first time some areas haven't hit 40 degrees in weeks, representing the kind of cold that typically visits maybe once or twice per winter. But this looks like legitimate Arctic air establishing a foundation, and on top of that bitter cold base, an incredibly active storm track is already developing. You can clearly see this dramatic dip in the jet stream through water vapor imagery, one of the most reliable tools for forecasting these rapidly changing atmospheric patterns. This current system is already delivering snow today across parts of the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes regions, but that's merely the opening act for this weekend's main performance. Behind this first system, we're tracking another atmospheric dip that looks significantly more favorable for a massive storm this weekend, and that represents our headliner event. Now let's examine what's happening right now across the country, because current conditions are perfectly setting the stage for this weekend's potential meteorological blockbuster. At this very moment, New York City battles moderate to heavy snow showers with temperatures hovering around 33 degrees, while Boston endures 37 degrees with relentless cold snow continuing. Chicago confronts bitter 32-degree cold with chances for additional snow showers, while Detroit struggles through 32 degrees with ongoing accumulation that's already impacting travel. Philadelphia experiences that classic rain-snow mix at 39 degrees, and Washington, D.C. sits right on the critical edge at 42 degrees with mixed precipitation threatening. Meanwhile, here's the jaw-dropping reality check on our continental temperature contrast. Miami enjoys tropical paradise at 78 degrees, while Minneapolis suffers through brutal 25-degree conditions with heavy snow. This temperature gradient isn't just impressive. It's the smoking gun that reveals exactly where warm, moisture-laden air will collide with Arctic fury this weekend. Columbus, Ohio battles 35 degrees with snow possibilities, while Indianapolis endures 34-degree cold with accumulating snow potential that could impact evening commutes. Share with everyone in the comments, what's your current temperature right now, and how does this compare to what you typically experience in mid-January? Your real-time observations help build the complete picture of how this extraordinary pattern is affecting communities across our massive continental weather network. Now let's dive into today's immediate weather timeline, because understanding these current conditions helps us appreciate exactly what's building for this weekend's potential chaos. Right now across Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, rain is rapidly changing over to snow as that Arctic air mass begins its relentless advance into the region. Through tonight, this front continues its methodical march, with the low-pressure system currently positioned over Pennsylvania and New York, bringing classic winter weather transitions. We'll watch this system slide up through New England, delivering that textbook winter weather evolution, starting as rain, winds intensifying dramatically, then changing to snow. The Appalachian Mountains, Ohio Valley, and Great Lakes regions are already experiencing that critical changeover as Arctic air funnels in behind the advancing system. By overnight tonight, even the mountains of North Carolina could witness snow, particularly across those northwest flow areas extending through Virginia and Pennsylvania. The I-95 corridor from the northeast through New England should remain mainly rain at this point, but that Arctic air is approaching with unstoppable momentum. Once this low-pressure system completes its passage, that Arctic air will really start pouring in, setting up Thursday morning as a brutally cold wake-up call for millions. But here's where this story takes the dramatic turn that has meteorologists so genuinely excited about this weekend's explosive potential. The atmospheric setup developing for Saturday night into Sunday represents exactly the type of configuration that produces those legendary winter storms people remember for decades. Let's examine what the latest American model reveals and discover why this particular solution has captured the attention of weather professionals nationwide this afternoon. Starting Saturday, abundant moisture begins organizing across the Gulf states, while that Arctic air mass establishes complete control across the eastern United States. Nashville faces 45-degree temperatures with rain chances developing, while Atlanta maintains 50 degrees with shower possibilities as this initial moisture mobilizes. Charlotte, North Carolina experiences 48-degree conditions with rain chances building, and Raleigh maintains similar 48-degree temperatures as the atmospheric setup intensifies. But here's where the meteorological magic begins. As this moisture-rich system encounters that established Arctic air mass, the entire character transforms dramatically and explosively. Richmond, Virginia sits at the crucial 45-degree threshold, while Virginia Beach maintains 45 degrees. Both position perfectly for potential winter weather transformation. The European model and American model are demonstrating remarkable agreement on the overall pattern, though they differ on some crucial details that could change everything. Baltimore hovers at 40 degrees with rain-snow mix potential, while Louisville, Kentucky maintains 40 degrees with cold rain chances, both representing critical battleground zones. Now let's reveal what makes this setup so potentially explosive from a pure atmospheric physics standpoint. The jet stream configuration developing is absolutely textbook perfect. We're witnessing that coveted, negatively tilted trough that meteorologists dream about encountering, the precise orientation that maximizes storm intensification potential. When you combine this trough orientation with abundant Gulf moisture transport and firmly established Arctic air, you create the holy trinity of historic winter storm ingredients. Milwaukee endures 30 degrees with ongoing snow showers, while Kansas City battles 38 degrees with snow chances, showing how this Arctic foundation is already perfectly positioned. The latest GFS model run depicts snow beginning across the deep south Saturday night, then rapidly intensifying as the system rockets up the coast with increasing fury. Arkansas, Tennessee, and North Carolina could witness their first significant snow event of the season if this remarkable solution proves accurate. Oklahoma City shows 50 degrees with developing cloudy skies, while Memphis maintains 48 degrees with shower chances, representing the western edge of this organizing atmospheric monster. But here's what's absolutely fascinating about the ensemble data that just became available. It's revealing probability signatures that should make everyone pay close attention. Ensemble models run dozens of scenarios to provide probability-based forecasting, rather than relying on single model solutions that can mislead. The GFS ensembles are displaying 50 to 60% probability for accumulating snow across southern Georgia, a statistic that's absolutely stunning for mid-January. Jacksonville, Florida enjoys 70 degrees and remains completely removed from winter weather, while areas just 200 miles north face genuine snow possibilities. These probabilities increase dramatically to 60 to 70% across eastern North Carolina, including major cities like Raleigh, Fayetteville, and the entire Outer Banks region. Virginia Beach shows an impressive 75% ensemble probability for accumulating snow, which represents remarkable model consensus for a storm still several days away. Tampa, Florida maintains 75 degrees with warm shower chances, highlighting the incredible temperature contrast we're dealing with across this continental battleground. The European ensembles paint a remarkably similar picture, showing 30 to 40% snow chances extending all the way to the Florida Panhandle, unprecedented atmospheric reach. Houston maintains 60 degrees with cloudy conditions developing, while Dallas shows 55 degrees with rain chances as this massive system organizes from the western approach. Now let's address the northeast possibilities, because this is where the story could become truly remarkable for major population centers and millions of people. If this storm develops as currently modeled and tracks up the coast, we're examining potential significant impacts from Virginia all the way through Maine. Portland, Oregon maintains 48 degrees with rain chances, while Seattle shows 48 degrees with clouds, reminding us this is primarily an eastern United States weather story. The critical factor will be precise storm track. Even small shifts of 50 to 100 miles completely transform who experiences heavy snow versus who sees mainly rain. Denver enjoys sunny skies at 45 degrees, while Colorado Springs sees sunny but cold 42-degree conditions, both completely removed from this eastern atmospheric drama. But here's what has meteorologists genuinely excited: the remarkable consistency we're observing across multiple model runs and extended time frames. When different modeling systems agree on general patterns 4 to 5 days in advance, that signal carries tremendous meteorological weight and forecasting confidence. Las Vegas maintains 58 degrees with sunny skies, while Phoenix enjoys 68 degrees with sunshine, showcasing the stark contrast with developing eastern winter conditions. Let's break down the timing more specifically, because understanding when this develops helps everyone prepare appropriately for potential impacts. Saturday afternoon and evening represents initial moisture development across the Gulf states, with temperatures still remaining above freezing for most areas. Corpus Christi, Texas shows 68 degrees with partly cloudy skies, while New Orleans maintains 62 degrees with shower chances, both contributing crucial moisture. Saturday night into Sunday morning brings the critical Arctic air mass collision with Gulf moisture, creating potential for widespread winter weather transformation. This represents when cities like Atlanta, Charlotte, and Raleigh could witness their weather conditions change dramatically within just a few hours. Albuquerque maintains 50 degrees with sunny skies, while Tucson enjoys 65 degrees with sunshine, both remaining completely unaffected by eastern weather chaos. Sunday afternoon through Monday represents peak coastal intensification potential as the system rockets up the eastern seaboard toward New England. This time frame could bring cities like Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and the Outer Banks their most significant winter weather experience in several years. Sacramento shows 58 degrees with mostly sunny conditions, while Fresno maintains 58 degrees with sunshine, representing California's typical winter mildness. Now let's share what experienced forecasters are monitoring most closely as this pattern evolves, because certain factors will determine ultimate storm impacts. The infamous northwest trend phenomenon becomes crucial to monitor. Many coastal storms initially appear offshore in model guidance, then trend closer to land. Bakersfield, California shows 60 degrees with sunny skies, while Long Beach maintains 65 degrees with sunshine, representing completely unaffected western regions. If this storm trends northwest, it could deliver significant snow to the I-95 corridor, but potentially reduce impacts across the Deep South. Conversely, if it maintains a more southeastern track, the Carolinas and Southern Virginia would experience maximum impacts, with reduced effects for major northeast cities. Honolulu, Hawaii maintains its tropical paradise status at 80 degrees, with warm shower chances representing the complete opposite of potential winter conditions. Here's what makes this atmospheric setup particularly intriguing from a pure meteorological fascination standpoint: the multiple ways this could evolve. Scenario 1 represents the Deep South Special. Snow reaches as far south as central Georgia, with significant accumulations across the Carolinas. Scenario 2 delivers the classic nor'easter. Reduced southern snow but major impacts from Virginia through New England, with potentially crippling accumulations. Scenario 3 provides the ultimate jackpot solution: significant snow across the entire eastern seaboard from Georgia to Maine in one massive, historic storm. Mesa, Arizona maintains 68 degrees with sunny skies, while Riverside, California shows 68 degrees with sunshine, highlighting western warmth contrasts. What makes meteorologists particularly optimistic about at least some version of this storm materializing is the exceptional atmospheric pattern support we're observing. The Arctic air mass is legitimate and firmly established, providing the essential cold foundation absolutely required for any winter weather production. Gulf moisture availability appears abundant, and the jet stream configuration looks increasingly favorable for significant storm development and intensification. Anaheim, California shows 65 degrees with sunny weather, while Oakland maintains 58 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Pacific Coast tranquility continues. Let's address specific regional impacts based on current model consensus, because different areas face vastly different potential outcomes and preparation needs. For communities across the Deep South, Georgia, South Carolina, Southern North Carolina, this represents the best snow opportunity this entire season. Ensemble data strongly favors these regions, with multiple models showing accumulating snow as far south as central Georgia, potential headline-making impacts. Wichita, Kansas battles 40 degrees with snow chances, while Omaha, Nebraska endures 35 degrees with cold and snow, representing Central Plains winter conditions. Eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia appear positioned in the meteorological sweet spot with highest probability for significant, impactful winter weather. Cities like Raleigh, Virginia Beach, and Norfolk could experience their first major winter weather event in several years if this pattern materializes as projected. Lexington, Kentucky shows 40 degrees with cold rain snow chances, demonstrating how this Arctic air penetrates deep into traditionally milder regions. For the major Northeast corridor, Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York, Boston, uncertainty remains higher at this extended range. Current model guidance suggests potential impacts, but precise storm track will ultimately determine whether these areas see significant snow or mainly cold rain. Coastal New England, including Cape Cod and coastal Maine, shows promise for winter weather across several different model scenarios. Santa Ana, California maintains 65 degrees with sunshine, while San Jose shows 62 degrees with mostly sunny skies, highlighting California's continued winter mildness. Here's what everyone watching needs to understand about forecast uncertainty and why we can't provide more specific details yet. Storm systems like this remain incredibly sensitive to small atmospheric changes that don't become apparent until 24 to 48 hours before actual arrival. Slight shifts in upper-level energy, jet stream positioning, or timing can completely transform who experiences heavy snow versus who sees mainly rain. Cleveland, Ohio battles 32 degrees with cold snow showers, while Aurora, Colorado enjoys 45 degrees with sunny but cold weather. Regional variety continues. This explains why meteorologists emphasize following official forecast and staying continuously updated rather than getting attached to specific model solutions. However, the overall pattern signal is strong enough that preparation and heightened awareness are absolutely justified across the entire potential impact zone. San Diego maintains perfect 65-degree weather with sunshine, while San Francisco shows partly cloudy skies at 58 degrees. West Coast consistency continues. Let's share specific preparation recommendations based on geographic location and potential storm impacts that could affect your area. If you're located across the Deep South where snow remains rare, start considering basic winter supplies: flashlights, batteries, non-perishable food items. Snow removal equipment isn't common across these areas, so even modest accumulations can create significant transportation challenges and infrastructure impacts. El Paso, Texas maintains 55 degrees with sunny skies, representing southwestern regions completely removed from this developing winter weather story. For traditional winter weather areas, including the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and interior Northeast, this could represent your biggest snow event this entire season. Ensure snow removal equipment is ready, vehicle emergency kits are properly stocked, and heating systems are functioning at peak efficiency. Arlington, Texas shows 56 degrees with cloudy skies, while Fort Worth maintains 56 degrees with rain chances, representing Texas Gulf Coast moisture sources. Coastal areas should monitor storm track trends closely because small shifts dramatically affect snow versus rain outcomes and ultimate impacts. Here's what makes this developing pattern most remarkable from a pure meteorological fascination and professional excitement standpoint. We're witnessing textbook winter storm development with all classical ingredients coming together at exactly the right time with perfect coordination. The Arctic air mass, Gulf moisture transport, favorable jet stream configuration, and seasonal timing represent true meteorological perfection. Tulsa, Oklahoma shows 48 degrees with shower chances, while Austin, Texas maintains 60 degrees with mild, partly cloudy skies, framing the system's approach. This represents the type of weather pattern that meteorologists study throughout their education and dream about forecasting throughout their entire careers. The fact that multiple independent modeling systems are showing similar solutions adds tremendous confidence to the overall atmospheric pattern. Now let's address the timeline more specifically for those who need to make critical weekend and early next week decisions. Thursday and Friday remain mainly quiet as the Arctic air mass settles in completely and moisture begins organizing across the Gulf region. San Antonio, Texas shows 62 degrees with partly cloudy skies, representing the southern warmth that will fuel this system's eventual moisture content. Saturday represents the critical day when initial precipitation development begins, starting as rain across most affected areas. Saturday night into Sunday morning brings potential for widespread changeover to snow as Arctic air fully engages with the organized moisture system. Sunday through Monday represents peak impact potential for coastal intensification and maximum winter weather effects across the eastern seaboard. Drop your specific city in the comments right now and share what information you need most to prepare for this potential winter weather event. Are you hoping for a major snow event for winter recreation and beautiful scenery? Or are you concerned about travel and business impacts? Your priorities help determine what matters most to this community and guide how future forecast updates should be presented. Continuous monitoring of every model run over the next several days will provide updates as this pattern continues evolving and crystallizing. The most requested location in today's comments will receive detailed analysis in tomorrow's comprehensive follow-up forecast. Here's the current assessment of regional probability levels based on ensemble model consensus and atmospheric pattern recognition. Eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia show high confidence for winter weather with 60 to 75% ensemble support across multiple modeling systems. Central North Carolina and central Virginia display moderate to high confidence with 50 to 70% probability for accumulating snow and significant impacts. Northern Georgia and South Carolina show moderate confidence with 40 to 60% chances for their first significant snow event this entire season. Mid-Atlantic corridor, including Washington and Baltimore, displays moderate confidence but remains highly track-dependent, with 40 to 60% probability. Northeast corridor, including Philadelphia, New York, and Boston, shows lower confidence at this range, remaining highly track-dependent. What's most exciting about this pattern is potential for areas that rarely experience snow to witness a legitimate winter weather event. The Deep South hasn't experienced widespread snow in several years, and this setup offers genuine hope for winter weather enthusiasts. Simultaneously, traditional winter weather areas could witness their biggest storm of the season if coastal intensification materializes as projected. Remember that forecast uncertainty increases significantly beyond 72 hours, so specific accumulation amounts remain premature at this time. However, the pattern signal is strong enough to justify preparation and close monitoring across the entire potential impact zone. The northwest trend phenomenon mentioned earlier will be crucial to monitor over the next critical 48 to 72 hours. If this storm tracks further northwest than currently modeled, major northeast cities could experience significant impacts and disruptions. If it maintains a more southeastern track, the Carolinas and southern Virginia would experience maximum winter weather effects. Either way, this represents the most significant winter weather potential track this season for a large portion of the eastern United States. The consistency across multiple modeling systems and classical atmospheric setup provide meteorological confidence in some version of this storm materializing. What remains unknown is exactly how large the storm becomes and precisely which areas experience the heaviest impacts. That's why continuous monitoring over the next several days becomes absolutely critical for anyone within the potential impact zone. If you found this analysis helpful, smash that subscribe button and activate notification alerts so you don't miss critical updates. Share this content with anyone in potential impact areas so they can begin appropriate preparation for what could be a significant winter weather event. The next 72 hours will reveal much more about storm track, intensity, and specific regional impacts across the affected zones. Until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and remember that winter weather can create both beautiful memories and serious challenges. This perfectly demonstrates why following professional meteorological sources and official forecasts becomes crucial during dynamic weather patterns like this. Thanks for joining this comprehensive winter weather analysis. Tomorrow brings crucial updates as this historic pattern continues unfolding. Drop your city below and share what specific information you need most. Together, we'll track this potential winter weather event from development through resolution.